Well, greetings, good day, folks. I've decided to do a little investigation and find out, just curious, are there Civil War veterans buried in California? Now imagine the Civil War. Here I am in Anaheim, California, Southern California. We're just about 2,000 miles away from the scenes of most of the battles. So why would there be Civil War veterans out here? Where there are. There are many, many thousands buried around California. Most of them seem to be in Southern California. There are 11,000 Union veterans buried at the Los Angeles National Cemetery. Now, that cemetery is in the Wilshire district, the business district of LA. I do want to go there sometime. There's some interesting people there. There's 11,000 Union veterans that are just buried there in LA, in the Los Angeles National Cemetery. Imagine how many more are scattered throughout the state. There's also a number of Confederate soldiers. Their graves are scattered throughout the state. Not nearly as many as the Union, but there's still a good-sized number. What were they doing out here? Well, many of them wanted to make a new life for themselves. Once the North won the war, President Lincoln and the federal government very quickly restored their citizenship rights to them. And so they decided to take advantage, which they should have. They came out here. California at the time was the land of opportunity. Go west, young man. And so many people did. These veterans came out here, both Union and Confederate veterans. They built railroads. They worked in the mines. They got into the oil boom. Now, John Rockefeller and Harry Sinclair got rich off of the oil boom, but the Civil War veterans came out here and worked that. They worked in agriculture. They set up business shops for themselves in cities and countries. So while they were out here, they memorialized their cause in many ways. They put up statues, monuments. The Hollywood Forever Cemetery had a Confederate monument, which was constructed in 1925. They took it down in 2017 because of, well, there were a couple of issues. One was the woke movement, and they were getting letters of complaint about this Confederate monument in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, so it was taken down. But most of the monuments, whether Union or otherwise, are still standing. Now, I'm here in Anaheim Cemetery. Anaheim is a city that was founded by German settlers in 1866. No, actually, before that, it was founded. The cemetery, the Anaheim Cemetery here, is established in 1866. It's got 16 acres. There's 500 war veterans, not necessarily all of the Civil War. They have a mausoleum that I passed on the way in. That was built in 1914. And among the soldiers the one soldier that I want to talk about is Private William Bert Crandall. Let's take a walk to his grave. Bert Crandall was born March 10th, 1851, in Albany, New York. He died at 94 years of age, December 2nd, 1945, here in Orange County. He, believe this or not, actually it's not hard to believe, he enrolled in the Civil War as a soldier when he was 12 years old. You say, what? Yeah. Keep in mind, this was long before the days of mass media, electronic instant communication, the internet, rapid record checking. So people back then often lied about their age to get jobs, to get business opportunities. And in young William's case, he lied to get into the war because he believed in the Union cause. So yeah, at 13 years of age, he said he was 18, but he was 13, so he was already fighting alongside his other fellow soldiers. He got wounded. He caught shrapnel in his hand at Fredericksburg in 1864. And then in a battle at the Spotsylvania courthouse, he was shot in the head. Poor guy. So while he was in the hospital, he got a visit from Abraham Lincoln. This is his grave right here. So while he was recovering in the hospital, he got a visit from President Lincoln. Lincoln found out that he was only 13 years of age. Lincoln personally discharged this guy immediately. So he was a veteran, and he went on, he married Mary C. Whipple. Marriage was about 1869, a few years after the war's end. They had one son, Ellery, but William and his lovely family moved over here. William was a painter by trade. He moved to California in 1919. He moved in with a family in Yorba Linda and didn't really make a lot of money. Actually, he died stone broke. He died in a rest home in the city of Orange in 1945, so he was 94 years of age. Imagine getting shot in the head and living to 94. I think God was with this guy. Now, after 1945, for some 50 years, he had no grave marker. So there was a movement on to get him one called the Sons of the Union Veterans. Several of them investigated and found out he had no marker, so they petitioned the federal government, who provided this marker here. So here he is, 13-year-old Union soldier. Kind of reminds me of the movie, I think it was called Shenandoah, starring Jimmy Stewart, where it was about a farming family. I think it was in Virginia. They got caught in the middle of the Civil War, and their young boy was taken into the Confederate Army, and I don't think the boy was even 18. And in the movie, the boy survived, but here's a real case where a young boy was in war. So here he is, and as I say, this was set up. He couldn't have afforded it. There's a grave marker here. It says, "Last soldier of the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865, Sons of the Union Veterans." Now, he's not the last Civil War veteran to die. The last known Civil War veteran died in 1956, and I forget the guy's name. He was like 104 years old. But William lived till 94. He lived a good life. So, rest in peace to this fella. Thank you for your service to our country, sir. That was a very heartbreaking time. The nation was deeply divided, and may the division never happen again. And I pray that those who die for our country die for a good cause.